Good morning. It's November 26th, and it's the Wall Street Weekly Wrap Up with your host, John Newquist. And we're going to start talking about the stock of the week, Disney, because Bob Iger came back unexpectedly. Bob Chapek is out. The stock had dropped 35% in the 11 months of Bob Chapek, and apparently that was enough for the board, and they brought Iger in. Hope he comes back, because Iger 500% in his several years of running it, and people are looking at it. It broke below support. It bounced back after Iger came back, and we'll see. I mean, it's down there. You can see that lots of money still left in Disney to go around, and will it come back? I think good managers make good companies, and I think it'll happen. So not a bad time to buy Disney if at $100 if you're really interested in it. And then we got several things happening here. The stock indexes, like I said, the Dow is up 5% this year. So if you just bought a handful of the Dow stocks, you should be up overall. And it broke out of a long time trend since May, and that's a good news. And that might be the sign that the rest of the stocks might be coming up. The NASDAQ, if you look at it, is still down almost 30%, 28%. And that's a big hit for the tech stocks, and so a lot of people think, well, maybe that's not time to buy. But you think about it, the stocks that are in the Dow are some tech, but there are also a lot of retailers and Walgreens and everything else like that. So we'll see a difference. I'm not sure. Activision Blizzard, of course, it dropped. You can see the gap down in the red over here with the news that DOJ may block the Microsoft acquisition. I don't understand why, because there's plenty of video games, and I don't understand why Microsoft having Activision Blizzard would make that much, because there's still tons of games out there. So I don't see why that would be blocked. But the fear is a motivator. It's been stuck in a range since mid-June, so we'll see. As you can see, if you go way back at the beginning of the year, Microsoft announcement shot the stock up, and it's slowly dwindling down. So will it get down back to 60? I don't think so. I think the Warcraft release comes out on the 28th this month will help it, and the other stuff was doing good. So I think, like I said, I wouldn't buy it right now, but I think it'll be in there. We own Microsoft, so we hope we will buy it. Utilities, I just picked on this one because the utilities have quite a run since the October lows. A lot of stuff have gone up since the October lows. Everybody looked at the June 23rd as the low dates, and it wasn't close. The October lows were it. But people are starting to look at the utilities. Stocks have gone up. They're getting more defensive minded. The flyers of the area are getting kind of sold, but I don't know. I just say be diversified and you'll be okay. Apple, I watched the protests at Foxconn. A lot of people out there. Of course, the Chinese are not interested in protests, so they're going to have, their men in white, as I call them, in the uniforms, getting these people back to the factory, getting back to work, and maybe it'll settle down. I don't know. Angry workers making your cell phone doesn't sound like a good thing to have. But the Apple stock, they're telling you the iPhone is not going to come out so fast. Maybe not Christmas. You might have to wait till the spring to get it. And right now it's in a triangle, and we're seeing which way it'll go. I think eventually it'll be a good quarter for the March quarter, but I think this quarter coming up is going to be bleak for Apple on Christmas. So I wouldn't be surprised if it gets below 135. When the news comes out for the quarter results of the Christmas holiday. And then Bitcoin, we can't help but talk about it. Broke below 16,000, another low for the last few years. People always talk about, well, it was down to $6,000. Yes, I understand it, but if you bought it $60,000 or even $50,000, you've taken the beating. And a lot of people are on leveraged margin, and of course these margin calls are killing them. As you get called, and if these crypto exchanges keep on going down, there are going to be more people selling out, more people have to raise revenue, and so could it get down to 10,000? I don't think so, but I buy every 1,000 it goes down. If it's down to 15,000, I bought. If it goes down to 14, I'll buy. Not a lot of money, just no more than a few percentage of your portfolio, but it's something to take a look at. And then, of course, Black Friday, I was surprised. The store's not so crowded, But retail online, they're saying $9 billion, which is tremendous. You're setting a record on e-commerce on a day that when you're supposed to go to the stores. But I think, like a lot of people, I can get buy the stuff online. The websites, and everybody says don't go out and kill people. The stuff is online, so that's good. I found that my email and anything that I bought before in the past has hit me up with all these Black Friday deals. But I just figured I'll wait till Monday, because Cyber Monday is generally better deals. We'll see. We'll see. And then let's end with our last stock, which is going to be one we own in our portfolio, JP Morgan. Bank stocks, you get the price of the book of 2, you sell it. When it gets down to 1, you buy it. But if you've got long-term capital gains like we do in JP Morgan, we're just holding it, because unless we think the company is going to do something wrong, it's still one of the best bank companies in the country. And again, the October 23rd lows and the June lows were the bottoms, and now it's bounced off the bottoms and it's done well. The dividends are good, and Jamie Dimon is doing well. Everybody, he's most pessimistic. He does not, give flowing praise about how well the world is doing. He always points out the things that are, dragging on the market: high oil prices, the Russian-Ukraine war, and these are things that he always looks at as the kind of like a mini tornado or hurricanes that could affect the overall global equity market. So I like the company, I like the management, and I'm going to stick with it for a while, because I've been there for years in it, and it's one of the top financial companies, I say. So, like I said, when you get something in there you've done well, you don't try to time the market. It'll go up and down, and you're still ahead in the long term. All right, well, I'll see y'all next week. Have a good, safe, warm November, and then we'll start talking about December next month. See you later.